Hello and welcome back to Newbie Monday with Riveting TV, your host Dorjan.
And Highflyer15.
Today we're doing angling and aiming. In the first part, we looked at the actual physics behind it, why you do it, why it's good for you, what's the weaknesses and strength behind doing it on certain tanks. In part 2, we're going to be looking at the town tactics, how you bait people, and this side scraper, as we were told by the chat, tactic, where you bait people to shoot you at your toughest, and then you get a free hit on them. It also helps you get lots and lots of steel wolves, sorry.
Steel wolves, yeah.
Iron wolves? Steel
Iron
wolves.
tanks.
So yeah, in part 3, we'll probably go and answer some of your questions and do a few examples with whatever you guys want to see, anything that we can think of that we missed in part 1 and 2. So if we go into game, I hand over to Highflyer.
Yeah, well, you need to go to a city map, and I am going to pick the tank that I've learned this with, and I'm gonna see if I have paid close enough attention to do this. I've only seen the video once, so it's actually going to be a little bit of a learning experience while we do this, but I think I got the hang of it. And yay, into the game. I'm just gonna run into the the middle, where the video is, where we, in the middle. Meet me in the middle. God dang it.
You in the middle.
Yeah, and this tactic, it really depends on how good you are at making the perfect angle against your opponent, because you have to see your opponent, see if he's looking at you, and if he's looking at you, then you have to align your tank perfectly to the building, then crooked your tank a little bit, or angle it, as we call it throughout this this Newbie Monday, and then reverse slowly backwards until the enemy can see you. The enemy will be fooled, maybe, hopefully, and will fire. Either he will do a bounce on your insanely angled side, or he will hit your track, and your track can eat infinite amount of damage. It will never break forever. So so don't even think about trying to fix it if the track gets broken, because the enemy, he can only do the two things that I just mentioned, either bounce on the side, which is very angled, or deal damage to your track again, which will never deal damage to your tank. So it's a very safe method of baiting the enemy without any fear of taking damage. I think I'm going to choose this building, because over there there's sand.
I'm watching you. So at the moment, I can see Highflyer's corner.
Yep.
I can see his backtracks, and I'm going to take a shot. What? That's his side armor. He's really weak. I should have been able to penetrate him. I'm going to sit here and reload.
Oh.
And he hits my turret.
Yep. I was too scared. I didn't know if he had the big gun or the small gun. So actually, I should have tested the reload speed, and my turret was facing into the air while I reversed, so couldn't really take a good shot. And then I shoot under you. But as you can see, I have the perfect angle right now. Dorjan can't do any damage to me. He can hurt my track, but his shots has to hit me twice for the shot, or the track to be damaged, because I don't really know why, but the health on the tank, obviously, or the track, obviously, has to be hit twice with the amount of damage he can do. As you can see, two shots again. Either he can get frustrated and try to get closer, or he can just keep on doing this, and I can bait him by keep going back and forth, just annoying him, and he's probably going to think that at some point he will be able to penetrate. Oh no! Did you switch to HE?
I did. Oh no! I did 60 damage.
Let's see if if the enemy thinks that the HE is going to be better, then he can think again. Because as you can see, 41 damage, and I keep on doing this. Then I lost my track again, and I just have to wait. So right now, as you can see, the perfect angle, if I make it so the building is aligned, it's just a little bit angled. It's not very angled, and if we can try and angle it even more, so if I'm doing this and trying to bait him, I will take full damage, and I can't retaliate. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't over-angle, guys.
Yeah, be very, very careful with the angle. As you can see, I just angled a little bit more, and I was able to bounce his shell. And that's it. And this can be used on any tank. No tank's powerful enough to just penetrate the track at that angle and do damage. So that's a very, very, very good tactic to use in any city map.
Totally. So you guys can use these to get free hits. You can extend the life of your tank a lot more. I actually had an argument with one of the teams that went to Moscow in the Lildeucedeuce. He was like, he would always trade damage to deal damage. And I was like, that's not the best way to do it. You should always try and receive no damage to deal damage. That should be your main objective. It should always be to receive no damage and deal damage. Because every time that happens, you then get into the lead. If you are relying on just out HPing the enemy, as soon as you go against multiple enemies or whatever, you're going to be in massive trouble. So, do you want me in my IS-4?
Yeah, just do that. I'll just try to angle myself from a corner, you know, baiting a shot at the most sloped part of my tank. I haven't really been fighting against a lot of IS-4s since the patch with the IS-4, so I don't really know if he will be able to penetrate the... But I think maybe he will. But then again, we can just show off the same thing, just to emphasize how a great tactic this is to use on any map. But of course, if you're fighting more than one enemy, then you really have to be careful that they're not further on the left side of the map, while the IS-3 is penetrating and tracking you. Not penetrating, but tracking you. And then the other enemy goes a little bit more left, and then you don't have any advantage at all. So this is purely in one-on-one, when you just meet up with a tank around a corner and just trying to bait a shot.
Or if you're in a standoff, a long-distance standoff against multiple enemies, you can make them focus fire on you while your teammates go out freely into the open and take all their shots without any fear of reprisal. So yeah, it's always a good tactic, useful tactic to do.
Yeah, let's see.
So we're going to do the same situation again with tier 10s and see what happens.
Yeah. I can't see you, I'm just going to spot you, just because. Well, you shot under me. Trap.
Yeah. I let you see me.
And I shoot the fountain. Mm-hmm.
I'm that much of a ninja.
The track is damaged.
Yep.
See, this is a tier 10 gun with 268 penetration, and the trick is still working.
Yeah, I couldn't see you. You're invisible. The bush
Am I invisible?
And the bush in front of the fountain is keeping you invisible. But right now I'm showing off some of my tracks, so the tactic is not working very well. There we go. And oh, there you go. You moved. That's good.
I'm trying to be out of the bush. Being less bushy.
As you can see, if I align it here, the graphic is just a little bit outside the building, which is what it should. Either not outside the building or a little outside the building. And right now, with a fast firing enemy, as Dorjan just said, sitting in a position like this is just fine. You just penetrate where? Underneath the track.
The very highest bit, yeah.
Yep.
It's not perfect, but it works a lot. But you see how many shots he's taking from my best gun. This is the best, well, one of the best Russian guns, and I'm struggling against him right now. Penetrated once out of, what is it, 7 shots?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't been counted. Yeah. Oh, Grim. Maybe you were a bit too long away. We started the stream 5 minutes after. But again, it is going to be uploaded, so don't worry, you won't miss anything. And right now you're just keeping me right there, but that is going to, if you were spotted, unfortunately that bush is keeping you spotted. Uh-oh. And I bounced.
Same thing. You shot my rear when I was highly angled. Yep. Now this is the situation that you got to look at. We're both round the corner. We're both trying to get shots on each other, and all I can do is track him at best. Now the great thing that Highflyer was doing was baiting all my shots. He's tied up every single one of my shots. Although I kept him track, if he had the repair skill, it wouldn't have been like that. And his teammates would have easily moved around me. I was then rendered useless. Yeah, sure, so was he, but we're doing a 10 versus 10 here, and it's a team game. We're just showing you the tactics and add into your toolkit so you can do it. Okay, I'm going to do this the traditional way. I'm going to pop out the traditional way, and Highflyer's going to shoot me. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to just drive out, aim, and fire. So we take a shot at each other, we both take damage, yeah? Now, if we do it the untraditional way, the Sidescraper way, and I start reversing out.
I have no repair skill. Oh, a little bit of lag. There we go.
And I'm going to go, okay, this guy's good, but he's shooting too early. So I'm going to go out and show my side. You going to take a shot, Highflyer?
Yep.
Oh no, he wasted his shot. Now I'm not going to instantly retaliate. I know he has to reload, so I go round and go, hey, let's see if I can get a better shot. He's wiggling. He wiggled.
I wiggled.
He wiggled. But as you see, the angling we're using here on this small skirmish is really helping. Where we should have died ages ago, if you look at the HP, we're surviving a lot better because he's wiggling. You son of a bitch.
Well, that's another tactic that you really have to learn. Your strongest armor is in the front, so keep that facing your enemy if he's aiming down there.
The great thing about the American tanks...
Take my side, take my side. He didn't, and he bounced again. Yeah. And I hit that plate, which isn't sloped anymore.
I'm gonna say this, the E5 is bullshit!
They see me trolling, they hating.
The maneuverability of that thing is amazing.
Yeah, the mobility is really great, and yeah, the front armor is so sloped. Even if the armor is better on the 103, the angle on the front isn't as good. So I could try and take that and see if.
I think we should do some lower tiers. Show that it's still possible on the lower tiers.
Yep, I'm going to take. I'm just going to take a tier 6 Sherman.
Sherman? Okay, I will take the T-3485 then. If we do it on meds.
The damage module, the damage panel mod I'm using is the one in the Locastan mod pack in my description on all my videos. If you go to YouTube, and I'm just gonna link it just because. And mod pack is in all the descriptions. And that's the one I'm using on all of my videos. Whenever I switch to something new, I instantly add it either to the description, or I tell you in the video. For instance, the new icons, they have been added to the newer descriptions as well. So if you want the newer icons that you see up in the left and right corner of me in my Sherman, and Dorian in his T-34-85, then you can find those in the description as well.
Yeah, I bugged him to change them. His old ones were horrific.
Yeah, you got scared. when you saw a red enemy right next to me.
His heavy
in
tanks
the-
were labeled red. I thought it was ridiculous.
That's fine.
Looks like that one went right through.
Okay. Right, same tactic, guys. Oh, couldn't penetrate his side armor with 144 penetration.
They're hit.
And if I want to try and do snapshots, I can't do it. He's out in front. I can penetrate.
Oh, that was stupid. And again, this tactic will most likely only work if you get a sense of your enemy's reload speed. So that's again just playing the game, learning either by unlocking or getting meeting the enemies in the game. So I would never do this against a Chaffee, for instance, because his reload speed would just eradicate me and be ready for another shot whenever I would pop out. So
The other thing as well, guys, you can do if you're not familiar with the enemy tank is to decide to go, okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's roughly 6 seconds. So between two of his shots, you can see that, okay, that's his reload speed, and you can go from there. Am I permi tracking you with high explosives?
yes, I think so.
I'm going to use my entire clip of high explosives to see if I can kill you. Oh, that's
repair
the repair
kit,
kit.
mother.
Always keep a repair kit ready.
Oh yeah, and Gentosa, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he said that the Sherman can take 2 shots while the T-34-85 can take 2. Well, you have to take into account that he has to hit me, I have to reverse, aim, and do you mind? I have to reverse, aim. As you can see, I'm just going to wiggle my turret around. I have to aim, which is quite slow, and then I have to fire and get back in time for safety. And in that time, he will be reloaded and be ready to fire another one into my face.
Yeah, if you sit there to open fire, you're gonna be playing the HP war. Right, if we do the same thing in reverse, and I'll show you the fact that the 60 armor of the T-34-85.
Yep. Even if it's this close, when the enemy is just okay, I just have to get out there, peek, hit him. They wouldn't go all the way out here because then the enemy can retaliate.
Bang.
That's maybe.
So take a shot,
players
Hyper.
would. Yep. I'm just gonna go out. Okay, I can see him. Okay, I penetrated. That must have been between the tracks.
But you've gone out quite far.
Okay.
You're going out quite far. You should be just peeking out.
Okay.
That one bounced.
No.
Because if he went out fully, all the way,
We've got them.
what happens is we have an HP exchange.
Yep.
One of our tracks is gone. We can't move.
So when I'm baiting him around the corner like this, if he comes out far enough to actually do damage, he will receive a hit back.
Yep. And that is not a good enough exchange. Especially at the beginning of the
didn't think you'd see that.
Hey, you could. What? Why you do that? Even though it was a kill
Bullshit!
shot.
I call it bullshit!
I call bullshit on the 85. OP.
So basically, yeah, in summary of this tactic, it has its place. If you try and use it every single time, the enemy will either learn or you'll put yourself in a bad position. But most of the time, you can use it to your advantage. So there's 2 types of angling you can use. One of them is make sure that you give away a weakness that you expect them to take and hope that they'll go for it. Or you do the wiggling, which I think we should do next, and the wiggle. The wiggle. Why that is really good.
Okay, well then we have to get some. Well, yeah, high tiers because wiggling. I don't know if there's any small, low tiers that benefits from a lot of wiggling.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do. Some of the T-34 series has a lot of sloped armor, so the wiggling there does help, but it's less so. I do agree that the upper tiers probably have a better chance to be more viable to wiggle. The KV5, for example, if you don't wiggle with that, you're silly. You should always wiggle with the KV5.
Okay, you take the KV5. I'm going to take the Löwe. Because, yeah, again, I get a lot of shots on my sides, and that is right before the enemy fires, and, well, it always bounces, so...
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go on to part 3, but we're only going to break for the duration it takes us to start and stop. Well, just to have a break for the YouTube, so we can have an easy cut. So don't go anywhere. It's not going to be a very long break at all, okay?